Okay, so back in the summer, I made a video exploring the idea of passive income and whether or not it actually exists. I wanted to find out if it's actually possible for the average person to build a viable stream of passive income with no special skills, no experience, and little to no startup cost. In that video, I experimented with the idea of self-publishing notebooks and planners on Amazon and found that, to my surprise, it was actually really easy to do, and that while it may not make you rich, it was a reasonably hands-off way for somebody to generate themselves a little bit of extra pocket change over time. Since then, I've been kind of wanting to turn this into a bit of a mini-series, where I test out a different side hustle in every video to see if it's actually a practical and profitable thing for the average person to do. And well, based on the comment section, a lot of you guys wanted to see that as well. So that's exactly what we're doing today. I'm going to be trying to start a business that I've actually been wanting to start for a really long time now, which is selling pictures of Levi's feet on OnlyPause. No, I'm just kidding. It's an e-commerce store. True story, but years before I ever made YouTube videos, at one point I actually tried building a Shopify store. I was planning to sell t-shirts and mugs and different items that had like lyrics printed on them from my favorite songs, from my favorite bands. It was a whole thing, but I got really overwhelmed and gave up really quickly because it was a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. First of all, I had to build the actual Shopify store, which was a huge headache in itself. And then I had to decide what exact products I wanted to sell. And then I had to find somewhere to source them from. And then I had to list them in the Shopify store. And then you can probably see why I gave up so quickly. It's a lot of work. But apparently a lot has changed in the time since, and now there are all these different workarounds and AI tools and things that claim that they can automate this entire process for you. So I want to give it another go, and I want to see if these tools actually make it as easy as they claim. Easy enough that even someone like me who has no experience and who honestly is kind of lazy can pull it off. After a bit of research and watching some YouTube videos, I've decided to go with a free tool called Build Your Store. They claim that using AI, they can build you a custom Shopify store in just a few minutes for free, which I think sounds a little too good to be true, but I guess we're about to find out. I'll leave a link to this AI online store builder in the description box if you want to check it out for yourself. And with that said, let's give this a shot. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is head over to the Build Your Store site, and I'm going to click Build My Free Store. I'm going to fill out my basic information, and then I'm going to hit Next. And next thing I'm going to do is pick a niche. So I can do fashion and apparel, home and garden. I'm going to do pets. Why not? We've designed 6 banner options for your homepage. Please select 2 and we'll add them to your store's homepage. That one's really cute. And that one looks like Garfield. Let's do that. So now I'm just going to quickly create a Shopify account. Hit Access Shopify. I'm going to use the same email address that I just used to create my Build Your Store account. I get a free trial to start, and then it's just $1 a month after that. So that definitely fits into the criteria that I have of like little to no startup cost. So we're going to go ahead and add my email address. I'm going to make an online store. We're going to go next. Now I'm going to jump back over to Build Your Store and click Done. Now all I'm going to do is copy and paste the URL from there into Build Your Store, and done. We're going to go install. Now I'm just going to go ahead and customize the store. This is actually really cool. It's very quick. Okay, so far this has been surprisingly easy. I've only been working on it for about 10 minutes or so, and it looks like I'm most of the way done. But now we're at the most important part, which is sourcing and adding products to the Shopify store. This is where I got really overwhelmed the last time. Now obviously you can sell pretty much anything on Shopify, but I want to make sure that the products I'd be selling are products that people actually want to buy and will actually get value from, and most importantly, products that will actually sell. But also, I don't want to have to pre-purchase and hold inventory. That sounds like not only a lot of work, but a lot of risk, because what happens if those items just don't sell and then I'm stuck with them? Remember that the key to this experiment is that it has to have little to no startup cost. So to make this as simple as possible, I'm going to be using AutoDS, which will link directly to my Shopify store and will handle all of my order fulfillment for me. If somebody buys something, they will ship it directly from the supplier to the customer without me having to do anything at all. That means no prepaying for inventory, no filling my house with boxes of merchandise in hopes that it sells, no dealing with customer service, and no trips to the post office. Just like Shopify, AutoDS offers a $1 trial. So far, I'm only out $2 in total, and I can test this out for a bit before I decide that I want to commit to it. I'll fill out my info here really quick. And we're done. And just like that, I'm going to hit access my store. And boom, just like that, I have a fully customized Shopify store with inventory already preloaded into it, which is really cool. So right here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. By linking AutoDS to my Shopify store, it automatically populated 10 listings for me, along with titles, pictures, prices, and item descriptions, but I can easily jump over to their platform and add whatever other items I want with the click of a button. And here's that item now, listed in my store, just like that. Okay, so that was shockingly easy. So far, I'm only out $2 in total. I've invested about 10 minutes of my time, and apparently I now have a fully functioning Shopify store selling pet supply goods, which is pretty cool. If we go back to where we started at the beginning of this video, the question that I was hoping to answer is this a viable way for the average person to make money? And well, we already know that e-commerce as a whole is a very profitable industry. In fact, pretty much every business nowadays is an e-commerce business in some way, shape, or form. Ask yourself when the last time was that you purchased something online, probably within the last couple days. Up until now, the only real barrier to entry for someone like you or I to run an e-commerce business was A, having the skill set to actually build the online store, to build the Shopify store, and B, finding and listing the products that you want to sell. And it seems like this has kind of solved both of those issues all at once. But now, let's talk about ways you can actually drive traffic to your online store to get your products sold. Okay, so there are several ways that you can drive traffic to your Shopify store. Some of them are free, some of them cost money, and you can experiment with whichever ones make the most sense for you. So some of the free things you could do would be leveraging social media, especially things like TikTok and Instagram. A lot of the reels that you see popping up on your feeds every day are really just sales funnels to online stores, to e-commerce businesses who are trying to sell you products. And there is nothing stopping you from doing the exact same thing. You can also reach out to influencers or other people who already have a social media following and ask to collaborate with them and have them help you promote your Shopify store. So like in my case, because my store sells pet supplies, it might make sense for me to reach out to some of the Instagram accounts from famous dogs and cats and see if there's a partnership opportunity there. In fact, on my Instagram, I get DMs like that all the time from people with small Shopify stores who are selling clothing and accessories and jewelry, and yes, even pet supplies. I guess they've seen Levi in my YouTube videos, and they reach out to see if there's a partnership opportunity there. Of course, there's also good old-fashioned SEO, which you can learn totally for free on the internet, and you can use search engine optimization to drive natural traffic to your Shopify page. You could also do something like start a blog or a mailing list, so there are a lot of different ways you could go about this. And if you're willing to invest a little bit of money in promotion, you can run social media ads on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can run Google ads. You can offer paid sponsorships to influencers. There are a lot of ways you can go about this. And in fact, the Build Your Store platform even offers a free course to teach you how to market your store once you're done building it. So now the big question is this a realistic way for the average person to make passive income? And I think that it definitely could be. Are you gonna get rich? Are you gonna be earning 10K a month from home? Probably not. But again, if you put a little bit of time into marketing your store properly and you offer a good selection of products, there's no reason that you can't earn a couple hundred or perhaps over time, even a couple $1,000s a month from home with very little work on your end. I used to be very skeptical about the idea of passive income and used to believe that it wasn't really a thing that was accessible to anybody but people who have a lot of money to invest, which can then generate them more money. But it seems that the internet has completely changed that. I talked a lot about this in last week's video, but the internet has provided us all with so many opportunities to build scalable businesses from anywhere in the world and with no experience and no special skills and no special credentials of any sort. I think that scalability specifically is what differentiates between something being an active source of income and a passive source of income. Because if your work or your business is not scalable, then not only is your income always going to be capped at some point, but the amount of money you make is always going to be directly linked to the amount of time and effort you're putting in, which is where the active part comes in. But with passive income, you invest a small amount of time and effort up front to build something that is scalable, and then the amount of potential that it has is limitless and is in no way tied to the amount of time or effort you're putting in. So in this case, you could use something like Build Your Store to build yourself one Shopify store or 100 Shopify stores over time if you really wanted to, load them all with all sorts of different products, market those things, and then sit back while your products sell and you make money. So yeah, I guess that despite my initial hesitation, passive income actually is a thing nowadays that can be accessible to anybody, which is incredible. Are you gonna make millions off of this? Probably not, but having a really low effort, low risk side hustle that can bring you in even a little bit of extra money every month and that could potentially scale to a much higher degree over time doesn't sound too bad to me. Once again, I will leave the link to build your store in the video description if you'd like to check it out. And if you do plan to give this a shot, leave me a comment and let me know what kind of Shopify store you plan to build, what kind of products you'd like to sell. And if you'd like me to make more videos in this series, also leave me a comment and let me know what side hustle you'd like to see me explore next. If you enjoyed this video at all, please go ahead and hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. You can follow me on Instagram at according_to_Nicole. Other than that, take care, have a good one, and I will see you next time.